taking almost $1,600 out of my pocket just for her benefit is ridiculous. And she know it is. You don't realize people have bills and other obligations. You just sit there trying to say that it's a big chunk of money left over, and it's not. Because I'm sitting here telling you that I'm having a hardship with the money, but you're telling me that I have more than enough to pay my bills. And I don't see how you can, tell me I have more than enough to pay my bills and I don't. Like, how you supposed to survive like that? I just don't understand it, but okay.
Requesting a final order. We're asking to establish the two of the new children. It looks like the parties, there's no opposition to joint managing conservatorship and standard visitation. I believe mom will testify that the children have a relationship with their father. I believe dad will testify to that as well. I believe the testimony will be government health, so requesting increase the medical to $203 a month. I believe the testimony as to the wages will be, there will be the testimony. There's one other child outside, so four in, one out. $2,916.67 salary or wages, and then $2,738.91 tax free. So the guideline calculation, $1,624. There's no request for further retro, although we would be asking to confirm. If we confirm as of April the 30th, the child support would be $5,499.29. The medical would be $958.24. So the disputes are going to be as to the financials. I believe that Mr. Cade takes issue with the guideline amount. I believe he works for the police department, so the court may want to take that into consideration with court costs. Anyway, and that he's I think he's going to testify that he's tapped out. And I think that's it. I think he might testify. I think it's a stepchild that he helps provide for as well, which I respect, but I don't believe he gets credit for. I think that's. Oh, I'm sorry. There's also going to be the issue of possession credits. So I think that's disputed, Your Honor.
All right, then. Mr. Cade, are you there, sir? Jericho, it's pronounced Rico?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Cade, you need to unmute yourself, sir. Mr. Cade, we're getting ready to proceed to a hearing at this time, and I think the state's asking for a final hearing. But technically, since you filed an answer back in early April, you're entitled to get at least 45 days advance notice of any and all final hearings. And I know that didn't happen in this case because, again, they probably didn't know about the answer, but it is in the court's file. So obviously, I can. You have the right to ask for more time and to see about talk and speak with counsel. Or we can go ahead and proceed today, sir. But again, you're looking at the math being the math. Like the last gentleman, the court's obligated to do what the law says I'm supposed to do. It's not going to change whether or not to go. That's not going to change if you go talk to a lawyer or not. But you do have that right under these circumstances, sir. So the first thing I need to know, sir, do you wish to proceed to a final hearing today? And I can always just go with a temporary hearing until you have the right to go talk to a lawyer, sir. But at this time, do you wish to proceed to a final hearing, or do you want more time?
You go ahead.
All right, then we're ready to proceed at this time.
No, it's for Carson. It's his birthday.
Right,
begging your pardon, Your Honor. I hear children in the background. I don't know that this is.
I'm sorry. I can step away from them. Give me 1 second. It was time to pick them up from school.
All right, well, find a spot. If you're driving, you definitely need to pull over and find a spot, and don't leave the keys in the car, otherwise you'll be
I'm not.
Okay.
I have somebody who can sit with them. Allow me 1 second.
All right.
Kelly, you have to be quiet.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, then. All right, I'm going to ask both Mr. Stell and Mr. Cade to raise your right hands, please. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm your testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, you're kind of cracking up on it. Make sure you got as many bars as you can, and we'll go ahead and proceed at this time. Thank you. You're both under oath.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Mr. Diamond, go ahead and call your first witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Call Mrs. Stell. Ma'am, will you state your full name?
Adrielle Monique Estelle.
Okay, and who are the children that were here on?
Ashton Cade, Mason Cade, Callie Cade, and Carson Cade.
And who is their father?
Tariko Cade.
And are y'all still legally married, or were you legally married but now divorced? Can you tell us?
We were never married.
Okay, okay. All right. Sorry, I misread my notes. All right. So let's talk about what we're going to do here today. My understanding, are you and Mr. Cade are able to co-parent?
Yes. He has a
Okay.
relationship with the kids. He gets them every other weekend and on his off days throughout the week.
Okay. So you're asking for you're okay with him getting standard visitation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are you doing for health coverage for your children?
They're on Medicaid through Superior.
Okay. And I plan on requesting $203 a month as the medical support. Do you have any objection there?
No.
Okay. The child support, I think you probably heard the numbers. I calculate his income at $5,600 and change a month, and so I'm requesting a guideline calculation of $1,624. Do you have any objection to me trying to use that number?
No.
Okay. All right. And are you asking for retroactive support for these two children?
Here's the question, well,
So my understanding is that you're not seeking retroactive support on the younger two. Is that correct?
Correct. I'm not asking for back child support.
Okay. All right. There is some money though that's owed. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. He's been current. I know that I think if the amount that you're speaking of, if that's like his old balance is just sitting there, then I mean that's all that's there.
Okay. Well, let me put that into evidence and then we can talk about what we do with it. But Your Honor, I would offer what's been marked as States 1.
all right, Mr. Stell and Mr. Cade, this is States Exhibit number 1. This is the financial activity report in your case. It shows what monies have been paid and what is owed. Is there any reason this should not come into evidence at this time before the court, Mr. Stell?
No.
Mr. Cade, is there any legal reason this shouldn't come into evidence, sir?
I mean, no, I guess.
All right, States 1's admitted. State may proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. So now let's talk about what we do with that. My understanding is that Mr. Cade is asking the court to give him credit for some time that y'all lived together. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes, I guess.
Well,
But
so I believe in a minute he's going to testify that y'all lived together from June of 2021 through February of 2024. Does that sound correct or does that sound incorrect?
there was a break in between there, but yes, that's correct.
How big of a break are we talking about?
Moved out December 6th of 2021 and moved back in. Carson was born May 9th, so he came back May 8th of 2022.
Give me just a second, if you will. So, all right. So you're saying together, June of 21 through November
December
of 21. Well, but
No,
you said y'all split the beginning of December, so I'm only gonna give him credit for the November if y'all split early December. And then you say you got back together in May of 2022.
that's when he moved back in the home.
And so I'm going to start it from June of 2022 because I'm looking for continuous. So June of 2022 until February of 2024.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then based on those numbers, he would possibly be looking at getting credit for 5 months and then.
And what are the credits pertaining to? Like him paying the child support or?
Just a second, ma'am, just a second. It's
Oh,
deal,
I'm
y'all, you were in the household that entire time also, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And it wasn't that he had children out of his own, you both were there at that time, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
He was living in my home with me.
okay. All right, thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Diamond.
So Mrs. Stell, do you object to the court giving him credit, meaning basically wiping off some of his arrears based on the time that y'all were together?
While the child support was being collected.
Well, we wouldn't take the amount owed. Yes, well, I guess it was ordered. I think there were some payments being missed, but yes, it would be a credit against what he owes you currently.
That's fine.
Okay. And if it pleases the court, I can do that calculation here in a minute. All right. And then there was, I believe there was a finding of family violence in a prior order. So the state is going to be requesting that there be non-disclosure in this order. Do you have any objection there?
I'm not even sure what y'all are speaking of, but sure.
Let me try it a more regular way. All right. There was a finding of family violence at some point against Mr. Cade. Is that correct?
I no. Yeah, I'm confused. Like, if you're speaking about the CPS investigation that we went through, then yes, then that was it, but nothing came about that. Like
Okay.
we went,
So
so
let
yeah.
me ask it a different way, because here's really what I'm getting at. My agency has flagged this case as being a potential problem with safety issues. So I'm currently requesting the court to order that your address not be disclosed, right? Your address not be published as part of the order that's gonna be issued from today or whenever we finalize this case.
Okay.
So the court previously made a finding of non-disclosure, although it looks like it was a third party, not Mr. Cade, who was creating the issues. So the question is this: do you feel safe with Mr. Cade having your address?
Yes.
Okay, but I would still like your address. I'm going to request the court to order that you make sure that you keep Mr. Cade updated on your address, but your address not be published in this order because of the third party that caused you issues the last time around. Do you have any objection to me requesting that?
No.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed with your next witness, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Call Mr. Cade. Sir, will you state your full name, please?
Tarico at 1K.
Okay. And the children that were here today, are they your children?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's talk about it. It sounds like you and the mother are in agreement as far as who's going to have them when. Is that correct?
I mean, like, I get my kids on my off days or whenever I can. So it's pretty much 50-50, honestly.
Okay. And we can talk more about that here in a minute. But the court's going to issue some kind of an order, whether it's temporary or final, that's going to, if there's not an agreement, that'll control. So I believe that the order that the court will issue would be the standard visitation schedule. And my question is if that's acceptable to you, Officer Cade.
No, because I like to get my kids when I want to get them. And we already have an agreement, so.
Okay. And when it's your turn, I'll let you go. I'll let you go into more detail there. That's okay. No, that's fine. And you certainly have the right to tell the court whatever you think would be appropriate as far as the standard or the ordered visitation. All right. The current child support. So let's talk about your income here. So I have you making approximately $2,916.67 a month. Does that sound ballpark?
Repeat that for me, please.
So your wages and salary, $2,916.67.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, sir. And then I also have you receiving $2,738.91. That's tax-free income. I'm guessing, is that like VA benefits?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So the calculation that we came up with, $1,624. Actually, I tell you what, before we get into that, so Miss Estelle is saying that she has no objection to you getting credits against the child support that's owed for the months of June through November of 2021, and then June of 2022 through February of 2024. Would that satisfy you as to the issue of getting possession credits?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I guess really what I'm asking is, for the purposes of giving you credits, does that sound fair, or do you believe you should be getting more?
I mean, I guess it's fair, but like, yeah, I mean, it's fair.
Okay.
I'm just honestly trying to get off of it because I take care of my kids, so it ain't no reason for me to be on child support.
Here's the deal, sir. According to the laws of the state of Texas, there is. You're not married, you're not living together. Child support is mandated, sir. Again, I get this every week, every day. Unless there's a legal reason that you're not obligated to pay child support under the Texas Family Code, I've got to order it, and sir, I don't think, there's nothing I heard here that makes it even close. So I understand you take care of your kids. Believe me, I hear that one, and you're one of those people who do. I'm looking at thousands of dollars coming in taking care of your kids, sir. But you know, the law is, mom has a right to receive that money. She has a right to do with it as she pleases. And you know, if God forbid something changes tomorrow, then you know, that's the setup. So anyway, and I'll let the state continue with this. But again, sir, if you're going to ask me to do something that's outside what the family code requires me to do, you're going to be tasked with giving me a legal reason to do so, sir. And the state may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. So let's talk about that, Mr. Cade. Well, I guess really the question is, so what is your legal reason for the court deviating downward?
I can't afford child support. Like legally, like 1,600 for 4 kids. Like literally, I still have a whole nother child that I have to take care of. And like the thing about it is, he's seeing thousands of dollars, but what he don't realize is I have bills too, and another child that's under my obligation. And literally, I took almost like a $700-800 pay cut. I'm only left with probably like $400, even if they're every 2 weeks to survive off of. But then when you take in account of another child, it ain't even $400. Like I'm literally on poverty line right now because I don't have money left out of my paychecks. I can't go work no off-duty job because we have 2 kids that's like constantly getting in trouble. One has autism, ADHD. I'm constantly at school on my days off, or I can't go to work because of him. So like I'm literally on poverty line right now trying to survive. And taking almost $1,600 out of my pocket just for her benefit is ridiculous. And she know it is.
Okay, Mr. Cade, here's the deal, sir. You're a police officer. You know what the Texas legislature does, right? They make laws and they make rules that have to be abided by. This is one of those. I'm not making this up. I'm not shooting from the hip on this. This is what the legislature says a person in your circumstances is supposed to pay in child support. And if you want additional time to go talk to a lawyer, figure out how you might want to try to get around this, sir, you can. But right now, like I said, the fact that you're claiming a hardship, but the math is still the math of what you actually take home, sir. And again, why it's a large chunk of that. It's still some left in your pocket at the end of the month, sir. No matter what. I'm sorry, there's still a lot still going to you. And again, the state's looking at
okay.
And right now, go ahead, sir. What's your question or your comment?
No, I'm done because you don't realize people have bills and other obligations. You just sit there trying to say that it's a big chunk of money left over, and it's not.
Okay, Mr. Cade, here's the deal. I've been a lawyer since '84, so you don't think I realize that you have bills that you have to pay, that you have to live, you got to pay your rent, you got to pay your car payments, you got to pay your electric bill, you got to pay all that stuff too, sir. You know, that's just common sense, okay? I know that.
It is okay.
Okay, but I'm not the one that came up with these percentages. The legislature said, based on your circumstances with 4 kids in and 1 out, that what's the percentage on that, Mr. Diamond? Is that should be 31, 30? That's a weird one. So,
Your Honor, you know these numbers better than I do. I gotta cheat. 32.2, Your Honor.
All right, this is what the legislature said, based on the fact you have 4 children with Mrs. Stell. A fair amount of child support would be 32.2% of what your net income is, sir. And obviously that's 1/3. You know, that's 1/3 of your money. I get it, but I didn't come up with these percentages. The legislature did. They made the law, and they put this. That's the way they set it up. Now, again, sir, if you think you've got a legal reason or something to get around that percentage or can change that around, you need to talk to a lawyer, sir. Because again, I've got to.
All right, I'll just talk to the lawyer then.
Okay, but I got to go with what's here now, sir. So.
Then if that's the case, then Your Honor, I would ask the court to do a temporary order with the possession credits. His child support arrears would come down to 0 if we could just confirm the medical support arrears and deal with the current support when we come back.
All right, and sir, that's what I'm looking at doing. I'm gonna go ahead and mom says the fact y'all were together, we'll take the unpaid child support down to 0 going forward. And I'm gonna go ahead and set this for 45 days out to give you 45 days advance notice in conformity with the Texas rules of civil procedure, sir. But when we come back, you can be represented by counsel. If you're not, then we'll proceed with you being a pro se litigant still. But again, I want you to hear this from somebody else besides me telling you that, this is what you're looking at going forward, sir, unless there's some legal reason to deviate, all right? So, ma'am, again, when I started this hearing, I noted that he filed an answer, and under Texas rules, he's entitled to 45 days advance notice of a final hearing. I'm gonna go ahead and give him the credit, take his child support down, and his retro down to zero. I'm gonna take his unpaid child support down to zero, and there's nothing that had to be repaid on that. I will, however, hold abeyance of finding on what we're gonna do with current child support going forward until he has the right to seek legal counsel and get information concerning this. I'll give him a little extra time because the new child support amount will cover 1st of July, no matter what. If I do order it, of course, going forward, it will go start on August the 1st anyway. So I'll go ahead and go with July the 18th. So that's going to give you plenty of time to get your to talk to and seek legal counsel, sir, and return and do a final hearing on this matter. All right. So again, Mr. Steele, I'm gonna go ahead and conform with the Texas rules. I'm going to go ahead and come back in on July the 18th and give Mr. K the opportunity to run his information by a lawyer and let the lawyer tell him what he's exactly looking at and whether or not he wishes to retain counsel and have that counsel come in his behalf when we come back on that date. But here's the deal, Mr. K, let your lawyer know that I've set this for, and I gave you a lot more than 45 days advance notice. I'm setting this far enough out that the court will not be looking at a continuance on that date, that whoever you hire would need to be able to appear on that date and proceed to final hearing. Are you there, Mr. Cade?
Yeah.
All right, so let them know that. So, Mr. Cade, sir, do you have any questions at this time, sir?
So basically, a modification is just you get more money, correct? If I'm telling you I'm having a hardship, correct?
No, sir, that's not what I said.
Because I'm sitting here telling you that I'm having a hardship with the money, but you're telling me that I have more than enough to pay my bills. And I don't see how you can, tell me I have more than enough to pay my bills and I don't.
No, sir, I did
don't
not say, Mr. Cade, I'm not gonna argue with you, sir, okay? I said that you, based on 33, according to the information here today, you're already to pay almost 33% of your money for child support. So that leaves obviously only 66% left. And I'm not saying that that's plenty to take care of everything. I'm just saying based on the math, that's what it says. Yeah. So again, that might not be enough to cover your bills, but again, I have not heard anything from you that would validate me deviating from guideline child support. It's a
But what I
legal-
don't understand is
that's why-
I don't understand if you have a child with a medical problem and you constantly can't go to work or you have to leave work to go take care of, like how you supposed to survive like that? I just don't understand it, but okay.
All right, sir, again, talk to counsel, because right now, you're representing yourself and you've got to be, and you gotta do it properly, otherwise, sir, I've got to make the findings that I made, that I'll make. But I'm giving you the opportunity to talk to a lawyer who can put into words and to pleadings what you're telling the court today, or attempting to tell the court today. So, all right, sir, well, again, I'm going to reset to the 18th. I'm gonna go to you, Mr. Stell. Any questions, ma'am?
Do I have to be present July 18th for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, any other questions, Mr. Stell?
No, sir.
All right, then, Mr. Diamond's gonna do the reset and send y'all notices of that, and we'll see everybody back here on the 18th to formalize and finalize this case.
Begging your pardon, Your Honor, I have two more requests, if I may.
Yes, okay, what's your request, Mr. Diamond?
So, Your Honor, I'd ask to confirm the medical support arrears as of April 30th at $958.24, and would be requesting repayment of $55 a month. And then if the court would rule on court costs, it sounds like Mr. K is current police officer and former military, and if we could put that in the order, be one less thing we'd have to deal with when we come back.
All right, I'll waive the court costs and the health insurance, that's what's owed the state.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. K, the state is requesting repayment of the Medicaid, amounts of health insurance to cover the Medicaid that children were on. And that's right now, they say you owe what was the amount, Mr. Diamond?
$958.24 as of April the 30th, Your Honor.
Tell you what, hold that to the final hearing also.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll let him talk to his lawyer about that too. All right, anything else there, Mr. Diamond?
Did the court want to rule on the, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, I'll waive court costs, I'll waive court costs due to military service and being a first responder.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I'll see everybody back here on the 18th, and again, Mr. Cade, if you bring counsel, that's fine. If you want to represent yourself, that'll be fine. If you want to represent yourself, you might want to look up what the court needs to look at as far as any type of deviation is concerned, and then present evidence to that effect, sir. All right, then, Mr. Diamond, may the parties be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you both very much. We're off the record and you're excused.
And I know everybody thinks that child support is for the child, but child support is not for the child. Child support is for the benefit of the child. The child has to live somewhere, doesn't he?
She does.
That means that somebody's either paying a house note or paying rent or something, right?